Alright, let's talk about the absolute chaos in cricket right now. Imagine this. Two Pakistani fast bowlers get punished by the ICC after a brutal test defeat. Not for cheating, not for violence, but for celebrating too aggressively. Wait, what? This isn't just about sportsmanship. It's about how far the ICC will go to police player behavior. And honestly, I'm here for it. Let's unpack why this tiny moment might actually reveal a massive shift in how cricket is managed today. So here's the basics. Mohammad Abbas and Khurram Shahzad, Pakistan seamers, got slapped with fines and demerit points for celebrating dismissals too close to West Indies batters. The ICC called it a Level 1 offense under Article 2.5, which bans inciting aggression. But here's where it gets juicy. Both players immediately accepted the punishment, skipping a formal hearing. Which makes me wonder, are teams now so terrified of the ICC's wrath that they'll just roll over, even if they feel the call was unfair? Or is this a smart move to avoid more drama in a losing game? Let's zoom out. Pakistan lost this test badly. This was their 8th straightaway loss. That's not just bad luck, it's a systemic rot. And now their bowlers are getting penalized for doing what athletes naturally do: get hyped after a win. Look, I'm not saying aggression is okay, but where's the line? When West Indies' Jomal Warrican was dismissed, Abbas animatedly celebrated. Shahzad leaned into Shai Hope's face after a wicket. But wait, if a batter slammed a six and stared down the bowler, would that be okay? The ICC's rulebook feels oddly one-sided. Celebrating a dismissal is part of the game's theater. Why are we suddenly criminalizing that? What's fascinating is how the ICC is becoming a morality police for cricket. They're not just enforcing rules, they're curating the sport's image. In 2023, we've seen players fined for everything: arguing with umpires, slow over rates, even on social media posts. But this feels like a new frontier. Imagine being a bowler who just broke the opposition's spine, and you can't even smirk without getting a demerit. Is this about respect, or is it about sanitizing the game for TV executives? Personally, I think the ICC's overreach is creating a weirdly passive-aggressive culture. Players aren't robots, they're warriors. And warriors react. But let's not pretend this is just about Pakistan. The West Indies won this test by 90 runs, yet their own players didn't face scrutiny for their reactions. A detail I find fascinating: this was the first test ever at the Brian Lara Academy. A historic moment, overshadowed by a fine for celebrating too close to a batter. What does that say about how we value tradition versus policing behavior? And Pakistan's losing streak? That's a crisis bigger than one match. When you're losing 8 straight tests, you're not just struggling on the scoreboard. You're battling a psychological rot. Can you blame the players for clinging to those tiny moments of victory, even if it means a slap on the wrist? Here's the deeper issue. Sports are entertainment. Cricket's biggest problem isn't overzealous celebrations, it's relevance. The ICC is so busy drafting 50-page codes of conduct that they're missing the bigger picture. Young fans don't care about demerit points. They want passion. They want the fire Abbas and Shahzad showed. If the ICC keeps cracking down on raw emotion, what's left? A sterile, scripted version of the game where everyone smiles for the cameras and nobody dares react. That's not cricket, it's a TED Talk. So here's my hot take. The ICC's punishment system is broken. It's reactive, inconsistent, and obsessed with optics. Pakistan's players? They're just pawns in a bigger game. The real story is a governing body terrified of the messiness that makes sports thrilling. And until the ICC realizes that passion isn't a crime, it's the lifeblood of the sport, they'll keep losing the battle for relevance. What do you think? Should celebrating a wicket be free speech? Or is the ICC right to draw the line? Let me know in the comments, because trust me, this debate is far from over.